What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. As always, I'm your co-host, Donovan Quick. And before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, we love you. All right, so we're going to get straight into it. I talked about yesterday, Chris Grier calling out Tua for, his lack of availability and him putting himself in harm's way. Today, I'm going to be talking about what he said about the offensive line. He backtracked on the offensive line a little bit. He said that he's kind of made that funny quote that everybody's kind of memeing on Twitter right now of him laughing on the reporters, saying he thinks that they're more worried than he is. He says that he said that to give the offensive linemen, who are the hardest working group in the entire building, some extra confidence that he knows that there wasn't much else that they can do because they were tied down financially. He said that it is time to reinvest in the offensive line. He acknowledged that it was an issue. Now, so he kind of basically said that he lied last year. He says that they were, that tells me, he didn't specifically say this, but the interpretation is that he was worried going into the season with this offensive line. Now, they lost Connor Williams, they lost Robert Hunt, Isaiah Wynn. His recovery didn't come back, as soon as they thought it would be. Austin Jackson obviously went down mid-season, and it's just been a cluster, right? Has not been good. So him saying that the offensive line needs to be addressed, and they will address it, and that is going to be one of the top priorities for this offseason. Bro, thank you, Lord. Because how many years as Dolphins fans have we been begging for a good offensive line, a good, tough offensive line? Let me put it this way. I know a lot of you remember watching Dan Marino. I was too young to watch Dan Marino. I think his last year in his career was I was 1 year old. Jacob wasn't even born when he retired. So we never really got a chance to watch him. But if you look back at just the stats, he wasn't sacked for 18 straight games over 2 seasons. He was the least sacked quarterback in his first 3 years in the NFL. That's why they made the Super Bowl. That's why he was so electric and so good. Now, it also helped that he got the ball out quicker than anybody else in the league. It was drop back 1, 2, 3, go. And the Dolphins have that. But he also had a pretty decent run game as well. The Dolphins right now, they have the good running backs. They have great receivers. I know I give Tyreek Hill a lot of shit. I know I give Jalen Waddle a lot of shit. Malik Washington, I gave him so much shit at the beginning of the season. They are 3 great receivers as a group. Malik Washington, he's good, not great. But Tyreek Hill, top 5, top 10 receiver. Jalen Waddle, top 15 receiver. Malik Washington, I don't know what top he is, but he's good at finding the open zone. He is a good slot receiver. That being said, we don't have the time to throw the ball because they're dropping 7 into coverage and getting pressure with 4, stopping the run with 4. So when your offensive line is not able to create that run game to at least make the defenses think twice about dropping 7 and playing that too high deep shell where the safeties are just over the top. When you don't have time for that, it's impossible to play. It's impossible to get anything done, right? So Chris Grier finally saying that he's going to prioritize the offensive line. Look, I will believe it when I see it, but it is encouraging. It is encouraging to hear him finally acknowledge that the offensive line was a problem, because it was a major, major problem this past season. And dude, I can't express, the biggest run of the season was Achane in what was that? It was the Cleveland game where he finally broke one off. And guess what? Isaiah Wynn. Or no, it was the 49ers game. Sorry. The 49ers game where he finally broke one off. And Isaiah Wynn, his first game back in the game, boom, right behind Isaiah Wynn. He broke that free. Liam Mickelberg on the bench. Now, that was a game that they were rotating, but still, that's the point. Isaiah Wynn, look, he's a good offensive guard. He's good in this system. He's still not even that good compared to other guards in the league. If the Dolphins can get Will Campbell in the first round, that'll be great. That'll be fantastic. So, fingers crossed that he actually does what he says he's going to do. We'll see. I'll take it with a grain of salt for now, but we'll see. Deuces.